Good afternoon and welcome. We're so grateful to have all of you here at this wonderful celebration of the union of Nick and Ellie. Today is a special day, a day that celebrates love, commitment, and the beginning of a beautiful journey. Nick and Ellie, as you stand here before us, you are surrounded by the love and support of family and friends who are all eager to witness this incredible moment in your lives. Love at its core is about partnership, respect, and trust. It's about choosing to share your life with someone who compliments you, supports you, and lifts you up. This commitment you are making today is not just a promise for now, but a promise for the future as you navigate life's highs and lows together, hand in hand. Today, we are here to witness and celebrate your union as you commit to a lifetime of love, respect, and adventure. And what a beautiful journey it will be. But first, Nick and Ellie have, for some reason they may soon regret, asked me to say a few words. They actually suggested a few words, but they were only suggestions. I know because I asked. I see some of you already shifting uneasily in your chairs. Please don't worry. It won't be that bad. Really, really. When Nick and Ellie asked me to officiate at this life-changing ceremony, they were seated appropriately on a bright red, tastefully worn leather love seat in my living room. They were also appropriately grinning from ear to ear, even more than usual, which I didn't know was possible. We want to ask you a question, they said, pretty much together. Shoot, I said. Will you be the officiant at our wedding ceremony? I shifted uneasily in my chair. You mean referee? Doesn't that usually come after the wedding? And it's usually hoped not for some time? They sighed and explained that officiating meant conducting, like an orchestra, I ventured. Sort of, they offered. Nick's brother Doug, there he is, right there, warned them that I would be surprised, and I was, verging on shocked, in an involuntary reaction, no doubt, to throw them off a bit. That is, to get them to reconsider and maybe withdraw their wild request. I asked, will you buy me robes to wear at the wedding? Robes? Yes, robes. They don't have to be fancy, but they should make a statement. Together, for sure this time, they said, just smiling now, no. What about a suit? I said no to that. Suits I had. What I didn't have were robes. And it didn't look like I would get any from these guys. They said they were sorry. And yes, they were still smiling. And well, here we are. But I believe there are at least 3 takeaways from that little conversation. Takeaways that bode well for their marriage and for any marriage. First, they presented a unified front to the world, or at least to me. There was no hesitation when they said no robes, and it was clear behind the smiles that they meant it. They stood together on this. Second, they offered an alternative, a compromise, if you will. Very important in a marriage, compromise. Third, when I said no to their suggestion of the suit, they saw that I was disappointed at our exchange, and they said, we're sorry. An apology, again, so critical. They believed that they had disappointed me, and they responded sincerely and with compassion. Within a marriage, that dance is also critical. So now you're probably thinking, hey, that was nice. He must be done. No. There are 2 more characteristics that make for a good marriage and lifetime companionship: loyalty and sacrifice. When the Louisville Ballet shut down during the pandemic, the artistic director said to Ellie, whatever you do, just keep dancing. And she did. in part because she loved dancing, and in part because this particular artistic director, if he told you to do something, you did it. But to keep dancing, she had to move to Oregon. And guess what? Nick moved with her and her little dog, too. When money began to flow back into the arts several months later, the director called her directly and asked her to return. Again, she did what he asked her to, and guess what? Nick came back with her, and so did the little dog. But then he would go off again, Nick, that is, campaigning for a governor-to-be in Kansas. They were almost together, but not quite. While Ellie settled to dance in Louisville, Nick began roaming all over Jayhawk's land to get out to vote. And he roamed, and he roamed, and he roamed, and Ellie danced, and she danced, and she danced. Then, halfway through the campaign, it seemed the stars had magically aligned. Nick was offered a job in Louisville. Hooray! Except he had promised to see the campaign through, and he knew his early departure would probably cost his candidate the election. In fact, the election did turn out to be that close, but he had stayed and his candidate was elected. Now, it's important for us all to appreciate that this decision was not so easy then as it might sound now. Keep in mind that they could have been together where they wanted to be and doing what they wanted to do, and no small matter, especially for Ellie, getting paid to do what they wanted to do. It took courage not to just let that happen. For Nick, it took loyalty to his professional promise, no matter the personal cost. For Ellie, it took her loyalty not only to support Nick, but also in turn to support their relationship. Nick and Ellie both sacrificed for each other. What do we have here then in Nick and Ellie? Two people with a sense of unity, an ability to compromise, a compassionate sensitivity, and a dedication to staying true to themselves and their aspirations. Finally, there's a rock-solid, on-the-ground loyalty and the ability to sacrifice for each other, as well as to accept and appreciate that sacrifice and to show it. That's a lot. So Nick and Ellie, coupled with the love you have for each other, I believe you have everything it will take to enjoy a long, loving, and truly fulfilling marriage. And fulfilling not only for the two of you, but for everyone who cares about you and wishes you well, and your little dog too. Now it's time to get to the good stuff. And yes, I know some of you are no doubt out there thinking, it's about time. Now we'll hear two readings. The first will be familiar to many of you, and for good reason. It's the time-honored pronouncement of what love is and should be from Paul's first letter to the Corinthians. It's Ellie's favorite Bible passage and a message that speaks to the heart of love and its timeless nature. It's important to keep in mind that it was written in a difficult time for the early church, not in the joyful times we're experiencing here today. It's a clear message of hope and promise, however, when it could have easily been one of disunity and despair. A reading from the first letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Next, I'd like to share some treasured advice about marriage from Ellie's great-grandmother, Helen Tatwine. She knew something about marriage. Addressed to her 10 children and discovered by chance in an old family Bible, Helen's handwritten note about how to build a beautiful and lasting relationship inspires simply through its sincerity and its practicality. She wanted it to be shared with successive generations, and it has been, just as it's now being shared with Ellie and Nick and with all of us. I look forward to your marriage and lovingly pass on this advice to you. Look not for perfection in your mate. You will not find it, and it is just as well. Living with a saint can be tiresome. Let your love be stronger than your hate or anger. Learn the wisdom of compromise, for it is better to bend a little than to break. Believe the best instead of the worst. People have a way of living up or down to your opinion of them. Remember that true friendship is the basis of a lasting relationship. The person you choose to marry is deserving of the courtesy and kindness you bestow on your friends. Please pass this letter on to your children's children. Nick and Ellie, we've arrived at a special moment in your ceremony. The vows you're about to exchange are the promises you will carry with you every day from this day forward as you grow together as partners in life. Nick, we'll begin with you. Repeat after me. I, Nick, take you, Ellie, to be my wife.
I, Nick, take you, Ellie, to be my wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish until we are parted by death.
To love and to cherish until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
Now, Ellie, please repeat after me. I, Ellie, take you, Nick, to be my husband.
I, Ellie, take you, Nick, to be my husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish until we are parted by death.
To love and to cherish until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
Separately, the rings are symbols of your love and commitment to each other. Together, as they have no end, they symbolize your eternal love and commitment for each other, and they will do so for the rest of your lives. Thank you. Nick, take this ring, place it on Ellie's finger, and as you do, repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
I give you my heart and soul, and I promise to be your faithful partner.
I give you my heart and my soul and promise to be your faithful partner.
I promise to stand by your side through thick and thin.
I promise to stand by your side through thick and thin.
And to love and support you forever.
And to love and support you forever.
Ellie, please take this ring. Place it on Nick's finger, and as you do, repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
I give you my heart and soul, and I promise to be your faithful partner.
I give you my heart and soul, and I promise to be your faithful partner.
I promise to stand by your side through thick and thin.
I promise to stand by your side through thick and thin.
And to love and support you forever.
And to love and support you forever.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. By the power vested in me by the great state of Kentucky, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may now share a kiss. It is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Nicholas James and Elizabeth Rose Pemberton.
job, Scott.
Thank you.